In all my years of chasing the stars, of whispering affirmations to the moon, of painting visions in the sky with my longing, I never knew the universe was waiting for me to say one small word. Not a chant, not a spell, not a secret name of God, but a word so sharp, so sacred, it could slice through illusions and rearrange my fate. The word is not yes. It is no. No. The sound of a soul returning to itself. The sigh of boundaries being reborn. We avoid it. We fear it. We dress it up in silence and smiles. Because we were taught that no means lack, means loss, means locking the door on possibility. But what if that's a lie? What if saying no is not the end, but the beginning? You see, the universe doesn't respond to indecision. It doesn't flow into half-hearted agreements or whispered maybes. It moves in response to clarity, to conviction, to courage. And courage, my love, sometimes sounds like no more. No more pretending this is enough. No more accepting what almost feels right. No more bargains with a life that doesn't match the dream I buried in my chest. We say yes to things we've outgrown because we are afraid there won't be another train, another door, another dream. But when you say no, with your whole chest, your trembling voice, your cracked but rising heart, you awaken the timelines that were locked behind your indecision. You part the clouds. You stir the wind. You clear the runway for destiny to land. And no is a spell for alignment, a ritual for the sacred, a boundary carved in gold. It is the moment you stop, settling for lukewarm love, for almost abundance, for spiritual crumbs. It is you, finally saying, I deserve what matches the fire inside me, and I won't light myself on fire, just to keep old dreams warm. It will feel lonely at first, like winter, like silence, like standing at the edge of a cliff, with nothing but your trust in the unseen. But what you call distance is sacred space. Space for miracles. Space for truth. Space for the life that was always meant to find you, but couldn't, because you never said no to the one that wasn't. So, let this be your initiation, your liberation, your soft rebellion against a life of almosts. Say it, not with bitterness, but with reverence. Say it like a prayer to your future self. No, you will say no to many things in this life, but not to this. Not to the moment your soul finally rises and says, enough. We misunderstand. No. We think it's rejection, a closing, a shield. But the truth is, no is a key. It doesn't lock the door. It unlocks you. Because when you stop saying yes to what drains you, you begin to say yes to what claims you. It begins quietly. This war between your longing and your fear, between your power and your past, between the divine in you and the part still begging for permission. And every time you say yes to something misaligned, you tell the universe, I do not yet trust myself. I do not yet believe I am ready. That's why the counterfeit comes before the crown. That's why the wrong job calls before your real work appears. That's why the almost lover shows up, right before the one who could meet you in full. It's not to punish you. It's to prepare you. You can feel it, can't you? That inner tug, the sense that you're being shaped by something larger than willpower, that your delays are designed, that your detours are divine. Because you are not just building a career. You are not just searching for love. You are not just trying to get through the day. You are remembering who you were before you were told to settle. And the sacred act of remembering always begins with a no. No to the salary that shrinks your light. No to the relationship that mimics love, but can't hold your truth. No to the versions of yourself you built for survival, but not for sovereignty. Because here's what most forget. The universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to devotion. And devotion looks like this: saying no without explanation. Saying no even when your voice trembles. Saying no not because you are arrogant, but because you are finally awake. There was once a woman who walked away from a life that looked perfect on paper. Marble counters, gold watches, a name everyone knew, but her soul was starving. And one day, she heard a whisper inside. This isn't your truth. So she left. No backup plan. No applause. She moved to the edge of the sea and painted for no one. She walked barefoot and let the wind undo her old name. And though the world thought she had lost everything, she had finally found herself. Now her art sells in galleries she never chased. Now her days begin with silence and end with sunsets. And she says, the life I live now was waiting behind every "no, I was too afraid to speak." You don't need to be famous. You don't need a podcast, 1 million followers, a TED Talk. You just need alignment. You need the courage to refuse what feels off, even when it's offered in a pretty box. Even when everyone else says, you'd be crazy not to take it. But you've been crazy before. You've betrayed yourself before. You know where that road ends. This time, you will choose differently. Because when you say no to the hollow version, you say yes to the Holy One. You are not here to be almost fulfilled, half seen, partly honored. You are here to radiate, to break generational patterns just by choosing higher, to walk through this world as proof that alignment is possible, that peace is powerful, and that waiting is not weakness, it is wisdom. That's our time for today. If this found you in a moment of decision, let it be the nudge you already knew was coming. Let it echo. And if you're ready to stop settling and start creating from soul, just say, I'm ready. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand firm on your sacred no until your divine yes arrives.